Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Horde of the Abyss. It's the Forged in Fire campaign! Yay! We've finally finished Tomb Raiders and here we are in Deus Ex Machina. The artifact recovered from the ancient tomb helped develop a project for a new type of weapon. The artificers Todd and Bertram are the main horses in the race for a working model of battle gear that could turn the tide of battle. Interesting. The artificers Todd and Bertram vie to create the first Dreadnought. Todd's plan is to immediately use the engineering resources, while Bertram prioritises economy. To win the scenario, outride your opponent. The level of his heroes is unlimited. So we got a choice between Todd or Bertram, and I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between them in game, but we're going to go for Todd because he looks like, Dr. Emmett Brown, right? So why not? The golden proportion. The gauge of all the mechanisms. No artificer has managed to calculate it yet, but you can only feel it as you take off the excess metal. Move after move until your entire being begins chanting, "Here it comes, the perfection." Then you invariably find a defect in another part, and so it goes day after day, year after year. I nearly lost my mind in this endless cycle, but as I was coming to the brink, somebody sent me this scheme. I have no idea what sort of imperfection it holds. Maybe I don't have the right knowledge. However, one thing I do know for sure, no one has ever come closer to bringing such a thing to life than me. I have long gotten my name inked into history. Sure, there was a time back in the day when that dwarf Bertram kept appropriating my inventions and profiting from them, despite having put no effort into them, save for a handful of gold. Much water has passed under the bridge since. Today you'd scarcely find one in Jeddah who hasn't heard of my self-propelled steam engines, the automatons. Old Redbeard may insinuate all he wants that I merely took apart and put back together what Frederick had done before me. Nonsense, all of it! Granted, I indeed got the prototypes in Frederick, but for crying out loud, they are based on the theory developed a good 2 centuries ago by our common ancestor. And what a great, undeservedly forgotten man he was. He ended up getting blotted out of the Bricannon annals. Only his diary, signed with the enigmatic initials DP, and a portrait, which I kept in a special place in my workshop, have survived. Frederick proposed the power plant solution, but the mechatronics, the strength calculations, the control equipment, the unique hydraulic logic machine, that was all me. It was now time to prove once and for all to that peddler, and to all of Jeddah, no, to the whole world, that talent can't be bought. Either you have it, or your name is Bertram. I've been waiting for this for a long time, too long. Here was my chance to finally get even with that wheeler-dealer for his patronising tone and vile irony, tread him down and humiliate him so that everyone can see his shame. My invaluable experience as an inventor, my golden hands, and a little elbow grease. That's up to Sam. I admit she's not a bad mechanic. All we have to do is perfect what had been brewing in my head for so many years. Now that'll be a proper snub on the nose for this so-called guild, only good for scratching honest bread out of the hands of humble geniuses, like myself, of course. And here we are Todd, and here is Bertram. We've got some automatons, he's got a sandworm or two, and here's Bertram's shop, Todd's shop. We appear to actually be allies too, from the looks of it, because we've got vision. So I guess this is actually a friendly competition. Let's open this. Oh look, statistics. Useful. And boots of speed. And things. Nice. Agreement. We, the undersigned, Bertram Hardward, son of Bolton Silverbelly, son of Bernoit Deep Pocket, 11 lines omitted, of the twice-belted goldsmith's clan of Mount Less Silver Smoked Head, hereinafter referred to as Bertram, and Todd, hereinafter referred to as Todd, covenant that until either of us has built a prototype weapon, the specifications for which are set forth in Appendix 15.6, to this agreement, we shall not cross the boundaries of each other's laboratory compounds by any means, including but not limited to by foot, horse, air, or magic. The respective territories shall be delineated in accordance with Section 7.12 of this agreement. It likewise applies to our allies, hereafter referred to as spies. Several dozen more pages of choicest legal verbiage. The liar letter shall be shamed and get the lash. Todd, Bertram. 1 Dreadnought. 6-1 Dreadnought. So, the mission objective is to just build a Dreadnought. So that seems fun. We've got our little shop here. It's nice to have a factory town again. Do love this town. So obviously it's pretty limited. They've got a long way to go before we can build a Dreadnought. We need a fort, halfling adobe, or is it Adobe? I know Adobe's the, paint shop company, but I don't know. Photoshop, paint shop. Manufactory watchtower. Manufactory, of course. Watchtower. Yeah, so that's all the buildings we require. We've got, very few resources. I do like getting some economy, it must be said. Although we don't have the ability to build a town hall either, so we might have to, adventure, very manifest destiny. Let's get a bank. As much as Todd talked about how he doesn't like banking, I think banking makes sense. It's good to have some extra money. We could get an ammunition cart for our non-existent ranged units. Let's carry on, shall we? Also, this is we're on a new patch, right? Fantastic. Congratulations to the team. The biggest fix of the whole thing is that they've actually finally swapped these back to the right order. So we can actually now know that if we can go through a border gun without having to mentally do the swap in our head. Oh look, there's a quest card. Oh, these are level 2 melee troops. I suppose there's some additional information there. It's in turn, shall we? Oh, there goes Bertram. Todd was giving his newest invention a trial. With each new run, the mechanism worked better and better. In his dreams, he was already riding the mechanical beast away, to some place where wooded mountains meet the blue sky. Ah, if only he was ever able to complete a single device in its entirety. Not just another peculiar buzzing motor with legs, but a proper... He had long since come up with a word for his dream machine, a sentinel. One of his very own design. As Todd was alone with his thoughts, the workshop's owner Bertram was sitting at a desk in the corner, tallying up the books and jingling coins. Todd shook off his dreamy attitude and spoke, as if to no one in particular. Have you, just once in our life, created anything that you could ever truly be proud of? The dwarf wrinkled his nose and silently went about on his thing. No, listen to me, you paperworm. Have you ever dreamed of an alloy that makes chisels stronger than granite? Of a perfect gear-tooth shape that just works, without any backlash or seizure, of a tool whose touch instantly vaporizes the part of a metal workpiece you want gone? Ever begged the tip of a hair-thin drill bit not to snap off when failure would mean a year's work wasted? The dwarf grimaced. He was almost done counting the proceeds. Hey, you old ginger mop! Do you know the feeling when the last roughness in your mechanism rubs together, making it sing like a magic cricket from the forests of Avlee? Or of wielding a solid seam in 2 places where no one else would have used less than 5? The dwarf was done counting the money, down to the last coin. He locked the pouch in the drawer, looked up and asked, "Oh, what voice would be good for him?" "Got any idea why no one likes us dwarves?" Todd replied. "Because you're fat, boring, earthbound, and greedy." Oh no, that's Todd. Todd added and turned to the window. Something glistened on his cheek. Bertram stroked a curl of intricate carving with his finger and whistled. The desk made a long rattling sound and stomped off into the far room, with smoke billowing out of the inkwell. The dwarf pulled his glasses down to the tip of his nose and eyed Todd up. The young inventor sighed heavily and waddled over to the drawing board. It had been decades since. Todd no longer worked for Bertram. He had moved back to his homeland of Bracada. He struggled to find any like-minded alchemists there, however, and continued his research alone. He lived a life of modesty, but his wants were meagre, and he was able to cover the cost of tools and materials by occasionally selling amusing mechanical toys to the well-to-do and aristocrats. He was ignorant, however, of the fact that the very same dwarf was behind advertising his creations. Bertram no longer had hope for his former protege to ever master the art of handling serious projects, yet he was loath to let him out of sight. After all, Todd's head was positively brimming with invaluable insights. Besides, somewhere in the back of his mind, he retained a semblance of warm regard for the man who'd once come to his workshop as a skinny, dotless teenager. Todd eagerly studied everything the dwarf had to offer before coming to believe that he had left his mentor far behind, and it was time for him to leave this golden cage. Cage or not, it was golden indeed. Bertram didn't pay Todd much in terms of money, but the apprentice never wanted for anything, and not even the smallest request of his was ever refused, provided he could explain how it would benefit the work. Precisely this last point, however, was often the root of the problem. Todd felt the mechanisms like his own gut, but to explain the essence of this or that effect achieved or supposed, and to do it clearly and consistently, that was beyond him. Humans, so hurried, so unreliable, so fickle, and their lifespans so short. Todd was greying already, and his head trembled visibly as he thought, while Bertram was still in the prime of his dwarven years. Still, the time seems to have only reinforced the desire to prove something to each other. The former companions had parted ways long ago, but eventually ran into each other again, in Burton. One had grown used to thinking that he was capable of anything, and all they needed to do was let his thought fly free, so it would return stronger and find material embodiment. The other believed that a solid base was primary, that in his opinion, with work well organised from the outset, success would surely follow, however challenging the job. Little did they know that there was also a third person in this equation. He, however, chose to remain in the shadows for the time being. He put himself on the other side of the equal sign. The entire sum of efforts by the former two was meant to go to him. Very interesting. Nice little flashback. So we can rebuild this foundry. It's quite expensive though, so we're going to hold off for now. Did you notice in the introduction sequence, we'll get some experience there. Wisdom sounds good, we don't have any archers. That Dulcin Picoland was in the background of that introductory cutscene. Nice little tribute there. Let's just let these halberdiers approach us, shall we? Actually, this is a very easy fight. There we go. Behold, the mercenary camp. Yeah, we've seen the Keymaster. Excellent. So, I actually am thinking I want to get to the manufactory soon, but we might as well kill the trogs while we're here. So if we just wait, they'll start combat. Wait. Defend, I guess. Yeah. This is a straightforward battle. We actually haven't looked at Todd yet. So he's got advanced logistics, advanced wisdom, basic tactics, advanced offense, and advanced interference. It's quite a lot of things for a level 3 artificer. I'm going to accept water magic. This might be a little bit silly, but if we get cloned, then of course we can do the good old automaton shenanigans, can't we? So that'll be fun. That's the thinking. We'll see if it pays off. Let's head back in this direction. We'll go grab these manufactories and such, get some additional troops. As for this turn, let's build a marketplace. Excellent. We can now trade. Let's carry on. I suppose we could donate resources to Bertram. That could be an interesting twist. As production grows, so does the amount of work required, which means I can't do it alone anymore. It's time to consider, whatchamacallit, delegation. That's the word. A tavern opened its doors near my shop. Perfect timing, too. It'll supply me both the crafty men I need to explore the wastelands and the toilers who will haul iron beams instead of myself. I'm not a man who goes about his job with kid gloves, unlike some. But I've only got one pair of these skillful hands. If only... never mind that. Our competition is being closely watched. A bribed man at the rival's construction site will be exposed immediately, and my investment will go up like the chimney, like black smoke from burning blueprints. There must be a better use for these funds. Oh, Todd Shopper's built a tavern. That is convenient. Let's see what's in the tavern, shall we? We've got Floybert, who knows how to use first aid. Interesting. And we have Zeef here as well. Or Ziff, sorry. He's the lightning bolt specialist. Does have more troops. The first aid tent's got some utility. Do like both of these characters. Probably Ziff's the stronger choice for now, I think. Let's go with Ziff. Leave the armadillos behind because, seriously. And carry on like so. That being said, yeah, speed 4. Mind you, we're probably going to need to bring them purely because I'm going to hand off the engineers to Todd soon. Let's see how that pans out. For now, let's head in this direction. More experience. Expert wisdom sounds good. Mechanics, which wish to join us. Excellent. Let's see. What about the Minotaurs here? Oh, happy Minotaurs. Don't you worry, we can repair. And we'll just torch these ones. There we go. I suppose it's actually used for artillery, because we just build a cannon, right? Like, the cannon gets work done, let's be honest. Ziff can help out too. We can go recruit these Sentinel automatons, flag the manufactory, and we'll also flag the foundry. We can then do some upgrade shenanigans. As for here, well, now we can build a town hall because we've got a tavern. Well, that's convenient. Build that. Get some more money. So this has shades of that map and Seeds of Discontent where it's like, there's probably no doubt going to be some nonsense events that just steal our money, right? So this turn, we don't really have much to money at all to build anything. We do need some more ore and lumber. We could build a mage guild to further make that stuff not possible, but for now we'll just carry on. Okay, so we'll want to take the engineers, give you the automatons and the engineer. That's the mechanics, rather. And then we'll hop back into town, we'll get those upgraded. And Todd will head out in this direction. He's always liked this direction. Oh, there's some Minotaurs. Let's split our engineers so we can do additional healing. Do we have spells, by the way? Oh, we do actually. We've got teleport and clone. So we could, you know, get better clones now. That's something. The water magic already paying off. Very convenient. I suppose this. I suppose I didn't need water magic, but it's helpful. Oh, wow, the cannon's actually blocking because of this ravine. Okay. Well, nonetheless, we could still be okay. We'll just have to... Oh no, we can sneak the engineers through. Alright, well that should do it for now. Let's do a... we might as well use a clone. Do a full weight turn. Pull back. We can strike again at the enemy. That's not allowed. Minotaur Kings are speedy. We mustn't allow them to gain access to our units. Look at that. Immediately torches. That's the thing you gotta worry about with these guys. They're so happy. Happiness will prevail. Just send him in, that's the answer. And then we can clone. Pull back. I don't want to kill them all, though. Yeah, okay, good. Well, thank you for not murdering engineers. Cannon's doing good work. Nice. Scholar doesn't seem like the choice. Logistics, though. Intelligence is not bad, but I'll just make my water magic advanced. There is a grave here that we're going to have to get some lackey to dig up. The Star Axis, I like the sound of that. There's a garrison here full of bounty hunters, that's going to suck. Yeah. I suppose we're going to use automatons for that one. There will be losses. This one, we should better manage that, yeah. Because we want this flail. Begin! Yeah, just charge. Between the two, I actually prefer the appearance of the regular automatons, but these ones are much more useful because of the whole, you know, no retaliation thing. That being said, as far as clone bombing goes, clone bombing regular ones is easier because then they'll just provoke the retaliation immediately. So there is that sort of give and take there. We can strike. Okay, we'll now pull back. Issue a repair. And there we go. Expert water magic. Eagle eye. Oh, mind you, that's a wall of text now. It's become a bit stronger since last time we looked. Okay. Well, resources limit us, but we shall carry on. Bertram's doing some exploring, I see. How's his troops doing? He's got a decent amount of troops. Okay. So, let's upgrade those mechanics into engineers. That seems solid. We do need this fort badly, but... Just look at how slow we move, otherwise. We do need to get Ziff to this location. Actually, let's see how much resources is here. The clumsy Knoll has killed himself with his own flail. Knowing your superior skill with this weapon, you confidently remove the spectacular flail from the fallen creature. Plus 4 attack skill, that'll help out our cannon. 17 attack, oh yes, 2 wood, 2 ore. Not enough to build a fort by any means, there's some stuff in here. I mean, I suppose we could just YOLO it a bit. We are going to get more troops after all, this isn't the previous map. But who knows how many are in there? We've only got 1 tavern, so we can only tell that there are troops. We don't know how many. I'll problem for later, I think. Let's head in this direction. We've got some energy elementals. They shall fall like the rest. And behold, they fell like the rest. Expert offense sounds good. We are hoping for earth magic soon. That being said, who knows if they even give us earth magic, but... So there's a school of war, there's... Orgoi Korkoi blocking the way. Better get rid of those. Before you appears a levitating glass case of a golden choker perched upon a bed of crimson velvet. At your touch, the lid opens, and the choker floats into your awaiting hands. This is not a very useful spell for us, but we have it. It might be a quest item. Oh, lumber! Yes. A part of the back. Oh, there's a dragon there. He doesn't seem too eager for that one. Burton was once founded near an ore mine, a scarce luxury in the region, but now its reserves are almost depleted. The wastelands are not called the wastelands for nothing. They are poor in resources, and now we must trade for them, paying with our factory's products. Most of them go to cover internal needs, as developments, hollows, rolled metal, casings, and everything else like a bottomless pit, leaving only meagre crumbs of the total output to be traded. Of course, customers are willing to pay for them very dearly, but construction on this scale takes a lot of resources, and by that I mean a whole lot. And then there are the surprise attacks on our supply trains by Minotaurs and other rabble. The Minotaurs of Jadam had never previously been overtly hostile to the new neighbours, they only seemed to be content with keeping to their underground labyrinths, only ever coming out to the surface out of some dire need. Whatever the reason for these predations, the timing couldn't have been worse. The competition of the century is at risk. That's the warning that we're going to be losing money soon. What's over here? Crystal. Lumber. 4 lumber. We only need ore now. Where is ore? Ore? There's ore. You just have to head through the sprites. Hopefully I don't regret this battle. Hide in the corners, engineers. Oh wow, the cannon just murdered him. Bye! Okay, we got away with it. I was like, uh-oh. They're not just gonna morale across the map, are they? 2 or... Well, there's firebirds there guarding a tome of fire magic. Seems exciting. More lumber. Okay. Do we utilize the power of trading? I think we do. So that way we can build a fort. Oh yes! Look at that fort. Take that, Bertram! Our fort's better! Oh! Excellent. He took one look underground and left. I see. I suspect the map has some symmetry to it. Yeah. There are some differences, though. Has to be said. Notably, I can get into here, but he can't get into here. Interesting. Maybe that's like some late game, you know, sneaky thing. Same for this. Interesting. Let's carry on. More experience. We can advance our tactics. Having expert offense is nice, to be honest. I do have forgetfulness, and it is at expert, so I can actually do this fight now. So that's nice. Shouldn't be a problem. That being said, if they're just going to shoot the sentinels anyway, that's fine. I saw that coming, didn't I? Again! The quest to save mana. There we go. Who needs forgetfulness? We'll take the +1 knowledge, however, and the gems. To recover our mana, we'll take one look underground, go, doesn't look good. Also, there's a hero here. I see the problem. These raids are not just going to be, you know, oh noes, there are pre-placed Minotaurs. There's going to be actual Minotaurs leaving underground to predate our lands, as the briefing said. Very interesting. Alright, Ziff. Grab the gems. Then sit here and get ready to dig next turn. There's a good girl. Alright, anything else interesting in the tavern? We got Rathmont. It's probably worth hiring Floybert just to have him as a one-guy hero who goes exploring in this direction. Look at that, he's already uncovered, you know, a throng of gremlins. How exciting. You know what, we're going to call it a video. Thank you for watching. When we come back next time, more Deus Ex Machina. Oh yes.